Prada on my feet, Gucci all over me, Louboutin and Valentino, you ain't getting what you see. Prada on my feet, Gucci all over me, Louboutin and Valentino, you ain't getting what you see.
Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Friday, the 5th of January, sure. The 5th of September. Hope everyone's doing great. Hope everyone's feeling fantastically well. International break is here, so I'm not gonna lie. It is a bit of boring in terms of Arsenal. At the same time, there are still topics we can discuss more a bit in depth, more a bit in general sense, and obviously there's no transfer talk and stuff like that besides going out to some extent. So today I thought, why not sit down, relax, chill, and just have a healthy discussion regarding Arsenal. Are there changes happening at Arsenal? Are Josh Kroenke and Andrea Berta turning screws on Mikel Arteta? Could this be the last season of Mikel Arteta? And could Mikel Arteta even be sacked mid-season if the things don't go our way? So we're definitely going to talk about all that. Obviously, we're going to touch on certain subjects here or there at some point. But obviously, the main topic is going to be about all this stuff that I just mentioned. So if you could do me a favor, smash the like button. Subscribe if you are new. We have hit 909 subscribers. We are slowly waltzing towards the big 1K, the big 1,000 subscribers. And yeah, leave your thoughts down in the live chat. Leave your thoughts down in the live chat so we can tackle them, we can discuss them and go from there. But yeah, people, changes at Arsenal. Is there something happening? Is there not anything happening? Let's talk. Big up AJ. Hope you're doing well today. People, as AJ says, like the stream and subscribe if you're new. Big up, 909 subscribers. Thank you all for the support, people. Big up the Coupe for 10 incoming. Maybe. Will the fraud face sacking, or is it just smoke screen before buying a cat? The inverted. I don't like. The thing is, will he get the sack, right? That is the big question. And also, to some extent, for me personally, it's also when he gets the sack. Because there are lots of speculations regarding this. Because according to alleged meeting that will happen between Josh and Arteta, that they have talking about the goals for the season, the fact that Josh has given him everything he desires in the world, pretty much including insane wages, let's be real. Andrea Berta has provided the insane amount of players and the players that actually he desired. So when is this gonna stop? When is this gonna go bang? What's gonna happen? And the big question is if everything sets up, shit hits the fan, and everything goes wrong, are they gonna pull the plug mid-season? Are they going to pull the plug at the end of the season? Or even worse, to some extent, or they are not going to pull the plug at all? Because that is also a possibility, which is actually even nuts to think about. But there's a big chance also that, for example, if we finish even in, let's just say, second once again, we get to another semi-final in Champions League or a final and stuff like that, and no matter what happens in the Cups, there is a world where he stays. That is the nuts part. There still is a world where he stays. And that for me now is the biggest question. Will he get the sack? Wouldn't he get the sack? How that could go? Will that go? And yeah, could it happen mid-season? That is for me the big question. Could it happen mid-season? That for me is now the real question in all of this. Would Kroenke is actually there, literally there, to sack him actually mid-season? Would that be an option for them? Do they entertain that idea in general? Because that for me, because at the end of the season, it seems most reasonable one. Let's just put it that way, right? Or keeping him till the end of his tenure and not extending the contract, that also seems reasonable, right? At the same time, sacking mid-season also might not be the worst thing to happen, would not be the worst thing to do, hence why the question. Which could happen? Let me know what you think about that in the chat as well. Simple question. If he loses to Port Vale, surely post-meeting he gets sacked. If we lose to Port Vale, right? And it doesn't matter if we put our best 11 out. If we put out Banieri, Skelly, Max Dauman, and then the senior players, right? It doesn't matter because the team should be good enough to beat them no matter what. So at the end of the day, if we lose to Port Vale, in my opinion, he should get the sack. I'm not going to lie, he should be getting the sack. Let's be real, because losing to Port Vale for Arsenal would be embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie, losing to Port Vale would be embarrassing. If you look at those things, because they play in League One, right? They play in League One. Granted, only 6 games have been played, but they are 23rd in League One. They have 2 points and -4 goal difference. They are one of 3 teams who haven't still won a single game in the season. 2 draws and 4 losses. So if Arsenal cannot get a result, he should get the sack. Let's be real. Mikel Arteta should be getting the sack to the maximum extent and as quick as possible. Let's be real. Big up, Mel. Robo's like, big up, Hyper Protagonist. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Big up, Cooper. Hope the Friday has treated you well as too, my bro. I may be stand corrected, but we will see if Arteta is under pressure, if he starts making more reasonable decisions like keeping Odegaard Merino out, and as a bless me, as then as a and Vanieri in. True. Also, like, the other thing is, will he hear? We might also start to hear more sense in his interviews, because when we talk about these interviews, when we read them over, when we talk about them, right? You can see them saying some weird stuff, right? We always see that no matter what. But in the last few interviews, he's been quite content in saying certain things, and he's been talking more seriously, I would say, more directly to some extent, which also is something Mikel Arteta doesn't do. Like, that for me is the big thing. I fully believe that a league win or Champions League win from René Slegers will wake up Josh, especially if Arteta doesn't win anything. To be honest, the fact that our women's team won Champions League last year, beating 2 of the biggest teams in the world football in women's terms, in Lyon, with just annihilating them away, right? And beating the best team by a mile, to be honest, in the world football in Barcelona, should already be in the wake-up call. Because René Slegers won Women's Champions League in 7 months. Arteta can't win anything in 7 years. That should be wake-up call by default and in general. Let's be real, people. Bigger. Thank you. Arteta out, Enrique in. We all pray and hope. And to be honest, I wanted to share you with this, because at the moment, right, let's just say we don't go for a manager, right? That is, let's just say, in another club, right? We don't buy out his contract, right? Let's just put it that way. There are some managers who are also available as free agents. Like, seriously, I'm not kidding. There are some managers who are available as free agents, right? And here are some of them. I want to see your opinion on this. Would you take any of these managers at Arsenal? If Arteta just gets sacked mid-season and these managers are still free agents, right? Which ones of these managers would you take? Luciano Spalletti, Ange Postecoglou, Thiago Motta, Sean Dyche, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Steven Gerrard, Roberto Mancini, and Sergio Conceição. Obviously, there's Ten Hag and stuff like that, but we are not getting into that, right? Which ones of these you would take? Because I'm not gonna lie, that is up for a big debate, in my opinion. That should be up also for a big debate, no matter what. Because if I look at this, let's just say, if we look just at these 9, right? If we just look at these 9 managers, right? Just plainly, we could sign, right? I would be willing, and I kid you not, I would be willing to take. Sorry. I would be willing to take Jose Mourinho, Sergio Conceição, and the third one under question mark for me personally. Well, 2 under question marks are Luciano Spalletti, right, and Roberto Mancini. Those 2 are under question marks, because with Mancini is the fact that he hasn't won anything in the last 5 years. The only last thing he won something was, let me check, was he became European champions with Italy. He became European champion with Italy. That was his last trophy. He didn't do anything obviously at Saudi Arabia. That is the last one he did, right? Before that, his resume is out of this world. Winning Premier League, but that was in 11-12. FA Cup in 11-10. He has done insane amounts with Inter Milan and Lazio, Fiorentina. That was obviously in 2010s. And in 2000s, he has the one with Galatasaray and everything. That for me is one of the under question marks, right? And Spalletti is the other one who is the other one under the question mark. He's also 66 years old, by the way, people. Mancini is 60. But the latest one with Spalletti is the fact that in 22-23 season, he won Italian league with Napoli. So that's less recent. Let's just put it that way compared to Mancini. Let's just put it that way. Definitely would take Jose Mourinho or Mancini, definitely. I would also obviously take a punt on Conceição and Spalletti personally. Maybe Mancini or actually no, Spalletti. See? Dyche and Mourinho. Based on how Arteta plays, yes, but overall, no chance in hell. Big up, Cooper. Smash the likes, people, and subscribe if you haven't. Big up, Gavin. Big up, Gavin. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. But yeah, like that for me is the big thing. Obviously, Xavi is available technically. Zidane technically is available. But I'm looking just at the managers right now who are free agents. Yes, I'm looking at free agents. I'm just looking at the point of view where basically Arsenal don't have to basically buy out anyone from their contract. Let's just put it that way. Because if we start to talk also about the managers who Arsenal could buy out of the contracts, then the list is endless. Let's be real, the list becomes endless. And that's why today's title is, are there changes happening at Arsenal? Are Josh and Berta turning screws on Mikel Arteta? That is the big thing. Because with all the signings and everything, it's actually quite insane to think about. Yeah, Enrique's contract is up in May. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe he's going to re-sign and renew his deal, right? At PSG, to be honest. There's also that possibility, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Exclude Solskjaer and Gerrard 100%, and I think everyone would do a much better job than Arteta. Dyche, Mourinho, Mancini, Conceição, Mota, Postecoglou. I can see that. I definitely can see that. I don't want Ange Postecoglou personally. And Thiago Motta as well. I don't want Thiago Motta. That for me is also that big thing, as you saw when he was decent at Bologna, and as soon as he went to Juventus, he just folded. Juventus didn't live up to expectations because there are. But yeah, Enrique's contract up in May. Yeah, I know that. Enrique also wants to manage in Prem. Yes, he also himself has said the fact that he would love to manage in Premier League one day. So the opportunity is there. We also had a chance to sign actually Enrique when one of the years we extended Mikel Arteta's contract. We have had chances to sign some of those managers, and we just have not. We have stuck with Mikel Arteta for the last 7 years almost, unless he gets sacked mid-season, right? So that for me is the big thing, because Mikel Arteta has been provided everything he desires and more. He has been given basically keys to the Shangri-La, if you want to put it that way. And after 7 years, he still makes the same mistakes. People say he's still a rookie manager. But 7 years in the job, how can you be a rookie still? You cannot be a rookie after 7 years. It makes no sense. Literally, that's like being 7 years old and still not knowing how to walk. Like if you talk in kids' ways. If you talk for a job even, right? You study to be a builder, right? You are 7 years in the job, you still don't know how to mix cement. Like, it makes no sense. Like, let's be real, it literally makes no sense, because the issue with Arteta is that he's not that he's not good at the big things, like the massive things. And the difficult things. He's actually getting mistakes even with the simple things, the basics. He cannot even get the basics right at this stage. And that's why I am in this thought process, people. 11 likes, big up to you all. Big up to you all. We let Don Carlo go to Everton, yeah, and we let him go to Real Madrid. We also could have signed him then. And that's also the case. And people said, but Zinchenko plays for Ukraine in midfield. He's much better there. Well, he is a left back at the moment, and I'm not sure if we we would be starting midfield if Mikolenko weren't injured. We saw what happened when Zinchenko played left back for Ukraine in Euros. That was an embarrassment and a half. Let's be real. In midfield, Zinchenko is 10 times more effective, no matter what. Big up Rasta Stocks. Big up Rasta. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Great stream in the morning and everything. Yeah, and he has failed. Let's be real. He has failed. And we all know, people, right, that Mikel Arteta has signed 40-something players. 40 or 41 players, right? Arteta has signed 41 players. And now, if you look at this image, it gets kind of worse, I'm not going to lie. Because 13 of those players are defenders. So, effectively, 33% of the players he has signed have been defenders alone. Obviously, there is Zinchenko and stuff like that, which we just playing him in defense, but we have to put him there. So, ultimately, at the end of the day, after $1 billion spent, $1 billion, right? He has signed 13 defenders. 13! Like, that just is insane after signing 40 players signed and 13 are defenders. Yeah, he gets worse every season. He doesn't know how to play with a proper striker. Yeah, that has been my point for years. And people called me dumb and deluded over this. But I said this from the beginning. The fact that Mikel Arteta has never coached a striker. Even when he was at City, they didn't have like technically out-and-out striker, you could argue. And he hasn't coached one. He doesn't know what it takes to coach one. And we can see it right now. He's trying to play to some extent Gyökeres like he would be playing a Firmino, for example, right? And he has no clue how to get the ball to Gyökeres. He just tries crossing and everything. Like, it just shows. It shows. Big up Edward. Antonio Conte will be a very good fit for Arsenal. Conte is one that I want at Arsenal if Arteta is about to get sacked. I'm not against Conte. I'm not against Conte. I would say Conte. He went to Napoli. He lost his best players. He lost Kvaratskhelia to PSG. Osimhen went to Galatasaray. He has midfield of Zambo Anguissa, McTominay, Billy Gilmour, Billing, and players like that. And he wins Serie A in season 1, in the first season. Prove that it doesn't take time. And the only reason why I have heard why Arsenal fans, and those are the top gooners I'm talking about, wouldn't want Conte at Arsenal, only reason is because he has coached Spurs. Only reason. Make it make sense. They had no problem when we got Sol Campbell from Spurs. No problem with that. Why is the problem here? Let's be real. Who was it? George Graham as well. He went to manage Spurs. So what are we doing here? He also managed Spurs. So what the hell are we talking about here? Did he manage Spurs or play for Spurs? Something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Like my memories are all over the place today. I'm still vexed about the sacking and everything. But yeah, that is the nuts part. And nobody complained about that. But all of a sudden, he complains there, oh, but look what he did at Spurs. He did everything at Spurs he could. It's not a coincidence that, for example, Jose Mourinho, one of the best managers we have seen, arguably, who has won trebles and everything, right? Serial winner, goes to Spurs and wins nothing there. Antonio Conte wins stuff all over the place, goes to Spurs, nothing wins there. It's a Spurs problem. It's not the manager problem. Big up. Here is Rasta Stocks link. Go show him some love. Conte will win the league quickly. Yes, exactly. He will find quick solutions. Bang, 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 and job done. Yes, and that's the big thing. We are looking at the moment. Arteta is the manager, at least from what we have seen over the last 7 years almost. Long-term manager. It takes time, be patient, and all this stuff process. Managers like Conte, Spalletti to some extent, and all these managers are win-now managers. The squad is there. Add 2-3 players. That's it. They are here for instant results. They are here for instant results, instant impact, instant trophies, instant victories. Not something maybe in pipeline in 10 years. Not something like that. Conte is doing great in Italy. Yes, he is. Exactly. 1 billion and one striker. Exactly. 1 billion spent and only one proper striker signed in Gyökeres. People can argue Jesus, that's a weak point. It's the only point, exactly. Because he had a golden boot winning striker. Aubameyang, he made him play left wing back pretty much. Jesus is not a striker, he's a winger. Let's be real. Jesus' best performances mostly come when he plays wing. And even if he starts as a 9, he drifts out wide and then cuts in. Like, he's also not a striker. Wait, Josh Kroenke finally behaving like an ambitious owner. I'm here for it. Big up, Ash, and we are all as well. We are here for it. Finally, there is some accountability maybe put on the club and the manager for a change. 100%. These are Arteta and really made me lose my head. Yeah, I would say Conte in a heartbeat. Exactly. George Graham, bro, are they under? Like, trust me, Arsenal fan base are a unique bunch. Well, not whole fan base, but at least part of Arsenal's fan base is a unique bunch. Let's just put it that way. My reason is Conte destroys everything when he leaves. I would rather, yeah, that is the only thing. Conte does everything for right now, and don't worry about the future. That is the only drawback, right? That is the only drawback. I'm not gonna lie. To that I will agree. I wanted Allegri and Nagelsmann back in 2019. Still probably would go for Allegri. Not sure about Nagelsmann now. To be honest, Germany doesn't look good under Nagelsmann. They lost to Slovakia yesterday 2-0. Like, that is definitely not a good look for Nagelsmann. Like, Nagelsmann with the German squad is not doing too nice right now. Graham managed Spurs after Arsenal. This is why some Arsenal fans hate him now. Yeah, but nobody hates Sol Campbell. He played for Spurs, then came to Arsenal. Let's be real. If George Graham came from Spurs to Arsenal and still win trophies, nobody would hate it. Everyone hates just because it happened the other way around. It's simple as that. It's double standards. I think we have the team to win big trophies, but not under Arteta. Facts. For me personally, this team is built for trophies. This team is built for attacking as well. Unfortunately, we have an incompetent manager. Let's be real. We have trophy-winning squad in general, on paper, right? But we don't have a trophy-winning manager. Big up, Most Wanted. Big up, Most Wanted. Hope you're doing well. George Graham won Arsenal 2 Premier League trophies, so I can say Conte would win something for Arsenal 100%. Give Conte $1 billion. Let's see what happens. Literally, you can put Conte and all, Unai Emery, even all these managers, give them $1 billion and see what happens. Allegri is finished. People say, like, that's always going to be a debate. We're not changing this manager at this rate. It's pointless. The club won't listen to us. But if and when he fails, we will be fed another story. And that, for me, is the biggest worry. Now, the only hope is that with Andrea Berta as the sporting director, this narrative actually would shift finally. That is, for me, the biggest hope. That with Andrea Berta and his suggestions, his leadership, his experience, this narrative also would change. Because if we had still Edu there, I wouldn't trust this ownership, this board, to hire a proper replacement for Arteta. But with Andrea Berta there, I actually have hope that we actually could do it properly. That, for me, is definitely one of the biggest things. And also, one thing we need to do is get rid of Mikel Arteta before he ruins our club, our players, because Saka is already feels like on the last leg. Hopefully he doesn't ruin Ranieri, Daumann, all these guys. I thought Arteta was this great winger coach. Yeah. Oh, Arteta was so great. How he worked with Sterling one-on-one and how he inspired and made him who he was, right? Where is that with Martinelli, Trossard, Reece Nelson, Marquinhos, Fabio Vieira, and all these guys? Where was that with them? Nowhere to be found. Let's be real. Nowhere to be found. Can we also mention that a lot of Edu Arteta players are overpriced and overpaid? Not a lot of them. Let's be real. All of them are overpriced and overpaid. There is no argument about that. Ben White, Partey, Zinchenko, Jesus, Havertz, Tomiyasu, Vieira, people will say it's on Edu, but then Arteta may not be accountable, but he's an accomplice. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you are an accomplice. You are as guilty as the next guy, because no matter who does it, if you are involved, it's also on you. You are as guilty because you didn't stop them. You didn't do anything to prevent that. You didn't do anything to change that. You both are at fault equally at the same time. Big up Hendon Gunner. Big up Hendon Gunner. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. The end is nigh for our fraud said 100%. The end is nigh. I can just see the meltdown and pressure on Arteta should Forest win at the Emirates. If Forest win at the Emirates, we might hear big boos at the Emirates for the first time in very, very long time as well. I can definitely believe that. And straight afterwards, don't we have like Champions League at Bilbao and then we have Man City at home? Like that will add extra pressure, extra everything. And we all know how good Arteta, especially, and this club does when we are under immense amounts of pressure. We know that, especially in the big games. And that could be the all she wrote type of situation happening there, people. Let's not kid ourselves. He's a scammer, bro. That's getting found out. Exactly. He was basically, for the last 2.5 years, Mikel Arteta is a one-trick pony. As soon as you figure that trick out, well, he has nothing to give. And that's what basically is happening. Because there is no flexibility, no adjustments, no changes, no nothing. I fear it's going to be a long season of slow, predictable football. It's already predictable. That's the sad part. That is the sad part. And it's already dragging. It's only been 3 games, but it already feels like it's been a year. It might be due to the transfer window and everything, but definitely feels it's been way too long. But yeah, people as well, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. If Forest win after getting stuffed versus West Ham at home, I'm deleting my FPL. To be honest, I can see that happening. Because let's not forget, Nuno Espirito Santo as well is under immense amount of pressure. Obviously, he still has to survive the international break. Let's not kid ourselves here. At the same time, based on how Evangelos Marianakis does the things, he also could be hanging by a thread at the job, which means there will be extra incentive for the players, for the manager, for the club to do everything to maybe secure him at the job. Because let's be real, to some extent, Nuno actually is liked by the players. Let's not kid ourselves here. So it will be very interesting to see how that pressure applies, because the pressure is going to be both ways. One is already under the pressure, and for one, pressure is starting to mount and at a rapid rate as well. Injury, Ben White, right, was 50 million pounds player. Yeah, as much as I want the man out, I have to expect this the real make or break season. With that money spent, no boss will invest big money if you're failure. And I think just stories are tech. I mean, true, right? Yeah, just stories are true. That is the biggest thing. It might be copium as well from our point of view, solely for the fact that we want Arteta gone. Right? So it might be a bit biasness included into this. We might be reading too much into it, right? At the same time, at some point, there must be accountability. Because basically what Arteta is doing, it's like he's running a restaurant, right? He's basically charging 5-star Michelin prices for McDonald's level of food at the end of the day. Let's not kid ourselves. For a local McDonald's level of food, then he's overpaying the staff double the amount, and on top of that, half of the stuff that he's preparing, he's throwing in the bin because there are not as many orders coming in as he was expecting, right? So he basically loses money half the way. But despite that, he still makes profits for the Kroenkes, which makes no sense to some extent. It is what it is. He should be sad. He should 100%. Maybe he can go to United then. But results are under pressure, and let's be honest, West Ham is somewhat a bogey team for Arteta. Yeah. We play West Ham at home after Newcastle away as well. Let's not forget that, after the second international break or something like that. But the thing is, I think Potter as well, he might be saved. He might be saved because the latest result against, who they just beat? Chelsea? Was it against Chelsea? They beat 3-0. Who did they beat? Chelsea, right? They just beat, West Ham just beat, where is it? No, they beat Forest 3-0. My bad. They beat Forest 3-0, right? If they manage, after international break, also beat Spurs at home, I think Potter will be looking much more steady at his job. Because, yes, West Ham hasn't started the season perfectly, right? Let's not kid ourselves. It's not the greatest of looks in those terms. Yes, they are sitting 16th in the table, 3 games, 1 win, 2 losses, 8 goals conceded, only 4 scored. But against Spurs and against West Ham could be their big chance to kind of claw some points back. And if that happens, Potter will look much, much stable and much, much better in his position. Like, obviously, the managers who are already under the pressure are I have to say Mikel Arteta. I would say also Amorim. Obviously, there's Nuno Espirito Santo and all these players, all these managers, in my opinion. If had Arteta success rate in my job, we don't even get 2 years. Yeah, same. To be honest, like, yes, I got fired yesterday, right? Today was my last day. I got fired on my birthday and all that crap. Let's not talk about negative stuff, right? But I was working there for over 2 years, right? If I was showing what Mikel Arteta, if I was doing after 2 years, the same mistakes, the rookie mistakes I made when I just joined the job after 2 years, I wouldn't even make it there 2 years. I would be fired after 1 year, at best. Yet Mikel Arteta can do the same shit for 7 years and expect no repercussions. That just doesn't make sense. Big up, Cooper. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words. Big up to you, my man. Thank you for being here. Big up, my boss. Big up, my boss. Are we going to bring in Daniel Levy for business contact? Dude, don't start here. If we bring in Daniel Levy, that could be one of the biggest club fan base unitednesses you will ever see in your life, because the repercussions, the riots, the outburst you will see, it's gonna be 10 times worse than you have ever seen at Arsenal. Sweden is playing and Isak is on the bench. Well, it doesn't surprise me. He hasn't played a single game for what? Since June? Since May. Since May. He hasn't played pretty much a single game since May. So he hasn't played at all for 4 months. Doesn't surprise me at all. Let's be real. Doesn't surprise me at all. But one of the best things, obviously, at the moment, something I wanted for the longest time, I wanted there. It looks like there might be starting to some accountability actually being shown by the club, which is all I have ever wanted from Josh and Stan, for the amount of money they have put in and basically no return they are getting year in, year out. Because I'm not talking about the profit margins. I'm not talking about the money, the merchandise and everything is getting them in. I'm talking more about here trophies, victories, and big achievements. Because Arsenal, ironically enough, is the only club under KSC that has won nothing. Literally nothing. In terms of big trophies, because Rams have won the Super Bowl, Rapids have won the MLS, Avalanche has won NHL, Denver Nuggets has won the NBA and everything. Even lacrosse team is winning stuff. Arsenal is the black sheep of the KSC family in terms of KSC entertainment. So I think that's why this stuff is coming out, and there is starting to be a shift in the tides in all these places. And I think that definitely will be something we will have to keep a close eye on. Let's just put it that way. He will spill everything on Spurs. Like, do you want to know everything about Spurs? You're that excited to find out stuff about Spurs? Seriously? Moments I was also glad and proud of Ben's performances, but even then I never really considered him an expensive player. I may be wrong. Well, 55 million, no. Especially considering that White, for me, was a universal valuable tool that could play right center back and a right back. Yeah, like, we have all these players. Like, even if you look at Arsenal's squad, right? And this will be the most nuts thing you will ever see in your life. Because we're gonna do this right now, and trust me, it's actually wild, because I was going through this and I actually got some weird feels about this. I literally got some weird feelings about this, and not in a good way. Obviously, goalkeepers play only goalkeepers, so that doesn't count. Saliba can play only center back, so he's a specialist. Mosquera, right? I'm going to take a pen, and I'm going to write this down, right? Golden pen and everything. Let's do this. Mosquera. He can play left center back, right center back, and center back. Ben White. He can play right back, right center back. Hinkapie, he can play left center back and left back. Gabriel's a specialist, so center back. Timber can play right back, right center back. Calafiori, he can play center back, left back. Skelly can play left back and midfield. Odegaard plays, let's just say 10. Norgard plays 6. Vangieri plays all across the front line, pretty much. Let's be real. Merino, in terms of Arsenal, plays striker and 6 and an 8 and a 10. Zubimendi is a 6, and Declan Rice plays 6 and an 8. So that's another one. Forwards. Saka plays exclusively on the right, so we're going to keep him there. Jesus plays wing or striker. Eze plays 10, according to Arteta, left wing. Martinelli is a left winger, but also can play as a number 9. Gyökeres is a striker. Trossard plays all across the front line. Madueke plays all across the front line, left wing, right wing. And Havertz plays, well, everywhere, according to Mikel Arteta. If we look at these terms, right? Loans we don't count, or sales we don't count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. If we include Max Dauman, it is 25, right? 25 players. We have 25 players in our senior squad, right? And 16 of them play multiple positions. 16 of them. And that includes both of the goalkeepers. We don't have specialists in our team. We have a very makeshift type of team in general. Only specialists, you could argue, we have in our team that play where they should be playing is Gabriel, Saliba, Raya, Kepa. I would say also Odegaard, technically Saka, and Gyökeres. That's about it. Rest of them are makeshift Swiss Army knife, versatile players. For me personally, a team to be successful should be having specialists at least across the spine of the team. So striker, number 6, center backs, and a goalkeeper, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. We don't have the 5th one as well. Like it's all over the place, and we just not talk about the other positions. Josh said Arsenal is crown jewel. Well, you wouldn't tell that based on the trophies we have won. It won't be. I beat you to it, Robo. I figured that we don't have any fullbacks. We don't. Technically, we don't. Because we don't have actually out-and-out right backs, and we don't have out-and-out left backs in the team. We have makeshift center backs or midfielders as the defensive wing backs. For Arteta, everyone can play anywhere. Raya Bin showed some speed last season, so he probably can play wherever. Yeah, he plays as a center back half the time. Let's be real. We can even include the Raya into that one. What do you make of our September? Forest, Athletic, Man City, Port Vale, Newcastle. It feels manageable. Definitely it feels manageable. If we want to win the league, we should win or any competition, we should win all 5. Let's be real. We should win all 5. But let's be real. Under international break, big teams especially tend to struggle because all of their best players go to international duty. So Arsenal will struggle against Forest most likely. Bilbao will be a stinkfest. We'll see how that goes. Man City, they will want to get one over us based on what we did to them last year when we destroyed them 5-1. Let's be real. So they will be up for it 100%. Port Vale is a must-win no matter how you look at it. I don't give a damn who plays. As long as we also see youngsters and we don't overplay our main guys. And that is a must-win game no matter what the cost. And it should be a convincing at least 4-5-0. Let's not beat around the bush here. And Newcastle also. We should be winning there. If we are serious about winning the league, we should go to Newcastle and win there. The issue with Newcastle is, though, in 3 years, we haven't scored there. They annihilated us last season away in the league and in the cup, and season before that. In the last 3 games against Newcastle at St. James Park, we have managed about 3 or 4 shots on target. In 3 years, in 270 minutes of football, we have managed to have 4 shots. Like, that alone is making me nervous in general for this month. It should be manageable. That is the thing that should be there. A jack of all trades, but master in none, basically. And even then, Arteta keeps putting square block in triangle holes. Exactly. If something doesn't work, throw someone out of position, which sets off the balance of the whole team. And the issue is when he throws these players out of position, right? That means that that player who's playing out of position needs to be replaced by someone. And we all know that our backups for most of the positions, specifically in midfield and defensively to some extent, are not good enough. So it's all just utter scary business. Big up, Beggy. Big up, Beggy. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. What do you think is happening with Skelly? I have no idea. It looks like Arteta prefers, obviously, Calafiori. We saw that last year as well. Calafiori instantly played. Skelly only got the minutes because Zinchenko was injured, Calafiori was injured, and he didn't want to play Kivior there. And he didn't rate Tierney for some weird goddamn reason, which makes him look even more stupid than he is. So he had to play Skelly there because Arteta said in interviews before, I envisioned him as a left back, even though he's a number 8, number 6. And Skelly actually put in a beast of performances, and he became our main left back overall during the season. Let's be real. Let's be real. And yeah, Skelly stuck with it. But something has happened. Something has happened. All of a sudden, Skelly cannot get a kick off the ball. He comes on for some microwave minutes during games, but Calafiori starts, and just because our attack looks, well, technically better with Calafiori, it's what it is. I'm super pessimistic about it, but I have the hope that Kroenke snap out of it and finally sack the fraud. I just want change at this point. It might seem dramatic, but I don't care. Sack him. Yeah, that is the same thing for me as well. Because Arsenal, if you put it in simple life terms, like in everyday life, with Arteta, we are stuck in a routine. And routine feels comfortable. Routine feels very pleasing, very acceptable, because you kind of box yourself in, and everything outside the box seems a very big risk and not worth it. Because the box you are put yourself in basically feels like that is guaranteed. You're going to get it. It basically helps you no matter how you look at it, and you're good. At the same time, at some point, you will be forced to break the box and go out of it, because something is going to happen in life that you have to do it, no matter whether you want it or not. And the thing is, with Arsenal, I think it has come right now. I think that situation is happening right now. That situation should be happening right now. But will Kroenke is actually act properly on it? That is actually a completely different question. Let's be real. Let's be real. So we'll see. We'll see. Greece winning 4-0. Big up to you. If we are not the top by January, sack him. Big up Axel. Big up Axel. But yeah, I fully agree. If we are not top at the table by January, sack him. And let's be real. If we are, let's just say January comes or even December comes, and we are 8 points behind the first place, sack him then. Literally, sack him then already. Like, what's the point? Literally, what's the point? Get the new manager in for the second part of the season. You can afford at least to write, to some extent, one season off, right? Give the manager money for the new window. Let him already for the second half of the season implement his style and tactics to adjust and coach the team and see what he needs. And let's be real, this team actually has been built very, very nicely. Defensively, 100% to some extent, depending on formation you play. If we play with 3 center backs, with 3 at the back, this team is built to the perfection, let's be real. Midfield to some extent is decent, depending on, again, if we play 3 at the back, our midfield is good. Wing backs also will be good. The attack as well, we only need left wing, sorry. If we play 3 at the back formation, left wing is the only issue, right? So at the end of the day, if we are looking in that way, our team is pretty much done and dusted in terms of it doesn't need many more signings. But for the new manager, we need like 1-2 more signings, and he's good to go. Like, let's be real. And if we actually sign a proper manager, the thing is, under Arteta, these players we have right now in the team, right? You just know that Arteta is not going to improve them. But under a new manager, there's a possibility they will improve. Because we know what we are getting with Arteta. Give us the chance to find out what we are getting if we get Enrique, if we get Conte, if we get Conceição, if we get Spalletti, if we get somebody else. Give us a chance to find out if we get Jose Mourinho even. Give us a chance to find out. We are stuck in the car park merch to buy inverted salsa music, Goosebumps Matrix. Oh, 100%. Big up Kwame. Big up Kwame. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Berta should tell the board, including the Kroenke, to warn Arteta shape up or get out. Yeah. I strongly believe that Andrea Berta already is making a list, if he already hasn't made the list of, let's just say, top 3, top 4 managers he wants Arteta being replaced with, and he's just waiting for the opportunistic moment to schedule a meeting with Josh, or just go to Josh's office and slide the list under the door with a message: replacements for Arteta, sack him now. I wouldn't be surprised. I literally would not be surprised, because a proper sporting director is prepared for every contingency, isn't he? He's like a Boy Scout. He needs to be prepared at all times, which obviously Mikel Arteta is never prepared for everything. But Andrea Berta, given that he's one of the best in the business, he should be. He should be accustomed to it. So it stands to a very good reasoning and thought process that he's actually already has the list. Like WWE Chris Jericho settings. You just made the list. We'll be over by Halloween, yeah, and it's going to be a weenie season for Arsenal. Possible loss versus Vale deserves to sack. And yeah, if we lose to Port Vale, no matter who we put out, just sack him already. Respect them. Big up. It's not a situation where fans wear divided banners out and the toxicity. Not there like it was for Wenger. The Kroenkes listen to the only 25% is Arteta out and 75 is on the side, or just content. How was it? I think it came out last summer, during the summer window, right? There was a graph where they interviewed, I don't know how many Arsenal fans and everything, they combined the information, and about 6-7% were Arteta out, and they were not happy with the season, right? I think 39 to 43% were happy with the season, and the rest of them, which basically leaves about 50-something percent, were undecided. They were basically on the fence. So Arteta ins still heavily outweigh the Arteta outs. Let's be real. The swaying vote, if we talk in, let's just say, voting terms, is the ones that are undecided. They are the biggest portion of the fan base, in my opinion. And they are judging Arteta already, because on Twitter, at least, at the moment, I see much, much more Arteta out people than I saw, let's just say, in the beginning of last season. Much more, considerably more. So it's growing, but very slowly. Zidane's available, and I'm sure he would win silverware with this kind of squad. 100%. Without shadow of a doubt. I would take Zidane. Big up, Kwame. Big up. The cult is famous. Let's get that thing to 1,000 subs before the end of the season. Big up Rasta Stocks. Big up, people. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And while you're at it, go subscribe to Rasta Stocks Away as well. He's like 50-something sub. 50? No, 20-something. You are 970-something, right? So you are about, 23, 24 subs away from big 1K. So go subscribe to him, people. Go show him some love. I am curious. Would you take it all? Let me think about this. How long he has been at Bournemouth? I need to also check that. How long he's been at Bournemouth. So he signed in 23-24 in July 1st, 2023. So by the end of the season, if he stays that long, his contract is gonna run out, and he's gonna be there for 3 seasons. He plays better football, right? 100%. But personally, the issue with Iraola, for me personally, despite the fact that he plays better football, is the fact that personally he hasn't won stuff. He has won a cup in Cyprus, but also when he was at Rayo Vallecano for some time, he was playing great football. He was throwing challenge to everyone, but he didn't win stuff. And yes, you could argue that with better players he could do it, but he doesn't have the winning pedigree. 1 cup in Cyprus, like, for me, just doesn't excite me as much. It just doesn't feel like he could do it. Let's just put it that way. Big up, people. 16 likes, people. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Big up, Eros. Big up, Eros. Eros, Benteke music, Benteke music in the building. They were undecided. He gave Liverpool the league. Yeah. We are, yeah. I would say there's 70% chance that Gyökeres under any other manager would 70% better than we could do that. 100%. I wouldn't even put it 90%. I would put it like 90%. Because for Mikel Arteta to make Gyökeres work, needs to completely change his attacking style. And I don't think he's willing to do that. You know how they say you cannot teach old dogs new tricks and all this stuff? That is something that reminds me of Mikel Arteta, because one of the first things Arteta needs to do to help Gyökeres out is to drop Odegaard and put Eze in the 10. And he's never going to do that. He must abandon the consistent crossing tactics. He's not going to do that. He needs to abandon the control, slow, passive-aggressive, mostly style of play. And he's never going to do that. That is the thing. If you want to get the best out of Gyökeres, he must revert to the style we played football in 22-23 season. And we all know that that is never, ever, ever going to happen. But that's it. It will grow for a second. The next month we go on the run games, excites. Then he turned the corner. Exactly. That's how it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna be. People will change their opinions based on few games, because personally for me, how I see every fan base almost, because every fan base has this part of the fans, right, where literally they go on game by game basis. Right? Obviously, you can beat only what's in front of you and everything, but they tend to look at specific amount of games or specific season. They don't look at the whole overall picture. They just look at specific time frames, which basically fits what they want to believe. And that is as well a big issue. I would rather Glazner because he won in England. I would rather Eddie Howe. Yeah. I would much rather take Glasner because he has won in England. He has won an FA Cup. Plus, he also has won, obviously, the Austrian League, but he also has won a Europa League. So, yes, it's not Champions League, but he also has a European pedigree. So, he knows what it takes to win a trophy. I would definitely take. And he won Europa League at the time when Europa League didn't have this new style. They had the old style when Champions League teams dropped into Europa League. So that definitely would second signing of the Glasner. And Eddie Howe as well. He has improved players. The master stroke of putting Joe Linton from striker into midfield. And I believe that if he signed for Arsenal, definitely many players would improve as well. 27 subs away, bro. We all get there, bro. We keep the grind going, people. Go subscribe to Rasta Stocks, as you can see 27 subs away from big 1K. And while you're at it, like the stream as well, this stream, and subscribe to this stream as well. It all plays the football of the future. I can see that as well. Because football is changing a bit, definitely these days. Football is changing back to certain things that let's just say this way. Football in the last 2 years, last year and a half, 2 years, yes, is drifting away from Pep Guardiola, tiki-taka, possession-based rat style of football. And it's no wonder that most teams win these days that play expansive attacking or counter-attacking, very expansive, quick football. Because look at the proof. Look at the teams that play like that. Bayern Munich, Napoli, Barcelona. Those teams play like that, and they have won everything in the last year. Benteke music, yeah, big up, happy birthday. Big up to you. It was yesterday. Big up to you, and thank you for the birthday wishes. My only saving point for Iriol is that he doesn't seem to smell his own farts like Arteta seems. Sensible bloke, dude. Let's be real. Nagelsmann smells his own balls and everything, and he still won with Germany, so it doesn't mean anything. Give me a sec. Need to fix the camera. I tell you what, Rob, once we have a new manager, our football will change. Oh, 100%. 100% our football will change. Our style will change. But the nuts part is there's a big possibility that our fan base is going to be more toxic than it is right now. solely because the Arteta inners, top gooners, will instantly turn on the manager without any hesitation. As soon as he loses the first game, bang, he's worse than Arteta, need to get him out. That is the nuts part on this. They will turn quicker than they turned on Unai Emery. I know you would take Renee Slager's. I just don't think she can translate she can translate it to men's football. Thank you, Kwame. Thank you. You can't turn a Ferrari 458 into a tractor. That sums up what Arteta is attempting with Gyökeres. Yes, exactly. A proper mechanic can fix everything. And let's be real, Arteta barely can fix a toy car, not even talking about a real car. If Arteta fails to deliver, he will go. He won't go himself. He doesn't get the severance package and everything. He won't go himself. He should have enough nerve and respect for himself and the club to leave, but I just don't see that happening. Glasner will win the Conference League, no question. If he does, great, because we'll see. For me, I don't know. He will go far in Conference League. The question is how far and how he will balance it with Premier League and everything. Say Glasner, get Sean Dyche. We talked about it. Conceição is available and all these, man. I would say that Eddie Howe is a relaxed and clever manager. Yeah, he's a proper tactician. If he snuffs out the issues at the opposing side, he will utilize them and break you with those. I swear, I still believe the Kroenke's info is just a smokescreen. This club has a blunder to insert some rumors or push at some merch or release some control. Yeah, it feels that way because they are doing it all the time. On the other front, at some point, especially when you are a businessman specifically, like Josh Kroenke, you pay 1 billion into a team, and you literally see no return. Because it's all fine and dandy that you get money in return from sales, contract deals, and TV revenue and all this stuff. It seems great. At the same time, it means nothing if your club doesn't win anything. Like, there is nothing to back it up. Because no matter how you look at it, as soon as Arsenal win a trophy, it's more money. More people will go to the armory, buy merch and everything. Like, that is also the case. Winning breeds winning. And winning breeds also more shirt sales and anything. Let's be real, more money. Can we get rid of that? We'll see. Maybe at some point. I don't say this enough. Thank you so much, everyone, for welcoming to our community. I will forever be grateful. Big up to you, AJ. Hardest working man in the community. And you do an excellent job in every stream where you're a mod. And thank you for being here. 15.6 million a year. There's no way he leaves alone. Exactly. So either he will get sacked and Arsenal will have to pay him up the rest of the money, or they will terminate the deal by mutual consent, basically, and there will be some parachute payments. Let's just put it that way. Guys, we're paying 15 million for this fraud to get to not give them the salary, steal the manager money. Exactly. Like, let's be real. You can get insane amount of winning proper managers for less money than Mikel Arteta is on. Mikel Arteta is the 4th highest paid manager in world football. 4th, behind Inzaghi, behind Simeone, and behind Pep. Next closest manager, obviously, is David Moyes at Everton, somehow. But overall, the next manager who gets less money than Arteta is on about almost 11 million. Arteta is on 15.6. And those managers have won stuff. They're winning trophies. Not trophies, multiple. And Arteta gets paid that to win, well, nothing. Elite manager only, though. Exactly, only elite managers. None of this time, process, PR, evolve, and squeeze lemons and all that crap. None of that. None of that, please, because I'm sick and tired of seeing it all the time. Literally sick and tired of it. Still Luis Enrique from PSG with that cash. Right? The good news is, well, Luis Enrique's contract at PSG is through to 2027. That's the thing. He has signed a new deal and it expires in 2027. So it will be interesting to see. Let's check this. Yeah, but that's the case. That accept. That is the case. That is the case. Like literally, like look at this. Look at these salaries. Like where is it? He's until 2027, right? Let's go. Let's do this. Big up Kwame. Big up. But we basically appointed 2 full-time managers and just a manager and assistant manager. You see, you say this, still with the money, but here it is. Let's look at this. Let me zoom in. Whoop. Here we go. Let's zoom in like that. Highest paid manager in world football is Diego Simeone. Like Diego Simeone is Atletico Madrid's Arsene Wenger. Let's just put it that way and say it as it is, right? 25.9 million pounds a year. Second highest paid manager is Simeone Inzaghi. Obviously, Saudis are paying the bag, so it is what it is, right? Pep Guardiola is the third highest paid manager with 20.7 million a year. And to be honest, rightly so for what he has done, right? Next highest paid manager is Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta is the fourth highest paid manager in the world football. After that is Stefan Pioli, obviously, as well as Saudis. So Saudis, like, it's a bit different story. See, David Moyes is on 12.5 at Everton. Somehow, but insane. And you see, the next highest paid manager, right, after David Moyes, is Luis Enrique. 9.6 million per year at PSG. Only 9.6 million. Literally 9.6. He gets 6 million a year less than Mikel Arteta, yet has won 6 times more than Mikel Arteta. That is the nuts part. Matthias Giselle, as well, a very good manager from Al Ahly, 9.6 million, right? Jose Mourinho, obviously, he's sacked, but he got 9.2 at Fenerbahce. Carlo Ancelotti in Brazil is on 8.4. And those are the top 10 highest paid managers. Like, that is the nuts part. Literally, that is the nuts part in all of those shapes and forms. Let's be real, people. We basically kind of point 2 full-time managers. Yeah, respect, big up, Kwame. I feel like someone convinced that those salaries for the players are a norm. Kroenke is believed because they're in NBA. I don't know. Like, it's actually insane the money we have put certain players on. Big up, Jacqueline. Big up, Jacqueline. Hope you're doing well today. One of the most paid and can't set up team to go to Anfield and play football, good football, yet you have a squad like that. Exactly. He's useless. Fact. 100%. 100%. 15.6 million a year, and you don't start. You start a game at Anfield with 4 defenders, 3 number 6s, and 1 striker and Madueke and Martinelli up top, right? You have 4 creative number 10s on the bench, and you decide to play Merino as the number 10. That shows everything. Mikel Arteta went to Anfield to set up for a draw. At the end of the day, there was no ambition to win anything. There was literally no ambition to do anything. If we wanted to pounce, basically, on Liverpool's mistakes, they didn't make them. Let's be real. Like, if Arsenal want to force other teams into mistakes, you have to press them. You have to open up. You have to take a risk. But Arsenal played safe, pragmatic, predictable, and this is what 15.6 million a year gets you. Boring, draining, insomnia curing, snoozing inducing football at the end of the day. And it's very repetitive to watch. Seriously. I watch other leagues. You all know that. And I see bare football in La Liga second, in La Liga 2, in La Liga second, in Spain's second division. I see bare football at many times at Championship, in Eredivisie, in Portuguese league, for God's sakes. And that is the nuts part. Exactly. Big up Mick. You don't get many clowns earning that much money. Dude, he's the only one. Let's be real. He is the only one. Because Mikel Arteta is the only fraud in all of those lists that hasn't won anything, and he gets that money. Other managers at least have trophies to back up their talk and walk. Mikel Arteta, he can only back it up with 2 community shields, 1 FA COVID Cup, some squeezed lemon juice, and some coins pickpocketed from his own players. That's the only thing he can back it up with. And he's lucky, as he's trying to back it up, he doesn't step in Wynn's dog poop. Okay, question. Bring up the transfer market and rate our signings before Berta. How many would you call successful? Before Berta? Gabriel, that's one. I would say Gabriel. Whether you like it or not, I would say also Declan Rice, but he's being played out of position, so cannot fully judge, right? But I'm gonna say Declan Rice. Yuri and Timba. Maybe you can say Thomas Partey, and maybe you can say someone else. But overall, it's literally like pulling teeth to name 5 players. I would say that much. It's literally like pulling teeth. I would say 3 definitely, but otherwise none. To some extent, it's also very subjective because they have won nothing. I think they should have give him 12-month contract if he wins the league, then give him a renewed contract. But for a novice, I cannot comprehend what the Kroenkes are thinking. Go figure. Seriously, go figure what was the reasoning why Arteta is getting this time, this money, and everything. Unless Kroenke somehow envisioned that this club under Unai Emery basically is like an old wet wood house, and they have to basically floor it to the ground, pour new foundations, and start to build up from nothing. Unless they saw it that way, still, if you want to do that, do it. I don't mind that. But at least hire an experienced contractor to do it. Not a guy who has just come out of kindergarten and his best resume offer he can give you is building blocks in kindergarten or putting some Lego pieces together. Like that makes no sense. Can't name more than 7 exactly out of 32. I struggled after 5 to some as well. All I hear is OJ's for the love of money right now. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, it's actually kind of nuts. But the hope is that with all, like, to some extent, you can see that these news about Kroenke putting some screws on Arteta and all this stuff feels like a PR stunt. After losing to Liverpool, obviously the merch drop and everything, it could feel like a PR stunt. At the same time, if this was a PR stunt, it wouldn't make sense to sign Berta, buy 8 players, sign a proper striker, sign a Gyökeres instead of Sesko, and all this stuff. It kind of wouldn't make sense, would it? Giving him 300 million to spend in one window, it wouldn't make sense to some extent. Because for me, the way I see it is that Andrea Berta is building the team already for the next manager. He has already a list made for the next potential managers, and he's just waiting for the proper time, most opportunistic time, to schedule a meeting with Josh, give him the list, provide his concerns, and encourage Josh to pull the plug on Arteta and start with someone else. Kroenke has got to take accountability for this manager as much as it's his fault. It's the fault for all to continue. Facts. Like, let's be real. We all talk that Arteta is the be-all, end-all. It's not. The Kroenkes are at the end of the day, right? Kroenkes are still one of the biggest problems of the club, no matter how you look at it. Yes, they have spent money recently, 100%. They have spent $1 billion they have given to Arteta. So, yes, Kroenkes are an issue. At the same time, Kroenkes also have given Arteta $1 billion. So, it's basically, it goes both ways. Bro, what's the total amount money-wise on player sales? Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna take a pen again, big up the golden pen, and let's write this down. You, how long of a time period you want? How long of a time period are you wishing to take? You want to take into this? How long of a time frame, basically? How long of a time frame? How long we are doing here? I can't wait to see the number. It's an absolute joke on sales. We're gonna look at this. Give me a time frame. Have fun enjoying it. All good. Eras, what's the time frame? Since Arteta has joined, or what? Come on, Eras. Hurry up. It's like Wenger subs happening right here. Eras, hello. Since Carter has, since Arteta has joined, you cannot spell. Lay off the booze, man. Okay, I'm gonna do both just because, well, I can. We're gonna do sales and purchases, right? We're gonna do the amount since Arteta has joined, right? So 293.5, and in sales, this is what we made this transfer window, people. This is what we made this transfer window, people. 10.3 million. This is what we have made. We made in this summer transfer window. Big up, Godfrey. Hope you're doing well. Like, that is embarrassing. Anyways, let's move on. 108.9, and we made 83.79. Obviously, this is in euros. We're gonna convert it afterwards. 235.1, and we made from this 69.8, 2, 22-23 season signings 186.4, sales was 23.8. You said since Arteta has joined, right? 167.4, sales was 31.4. 2021 also counts, right? This is 86, and this is 19.15. A 1920 season I won't count because that was still Emery here. That was still Emery here, right? So, great 10.3. Okay, let's total up the scores, as they say, right? Let's do this, people. 3.5 plus 108.9 plus 235.1 plus 167.4 plus 86 is, yes, let's just put it this way, 900, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the sales, people, this is the big one, plus 83.79 plus 69.2 plus 23.8 plus 31.4 plus 19.15. That's okay. It's not looking good, people. It's not. It is absolutely atrocious. Yeah. The merch is merching, but the sales aren't selling. So, I don't even want to send the number. Literally, I don't want to say the number, people. Like, it's actually wild. Like, seriously. It is actually wild, to say the least. It is wild. But hey, it is what it is. So, Arteta has spent, let's just put it this way, nearly $1 billion. We all know this, right? Arsenal have made Well, in sales, right? Arsenal have made in sales 270 million euros, which basically means since Arteta has joined, Arsenal's net spent is negative 600 and almost 60 million. Negative 660 million almost. Seriously. Negative 660 million. Serious talk. It's going well, guys. It's really going well. I'm not gonna lie. It's really going well in terms of that. For escort money from player sales. That's even more. Ozark levels of money laundering, fortunes being squandered. Basically, that is actually wild. Literally, that is actually wild. Let me compare this. Money. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna compare if it's true or not. Give me a second. Like it's insane. It's like making up a makeup movie with a big budget just to see it flop at the box office. Basically, dark levels of spending. So. Yeah. Okay. Arsenal have spent on. Okay, I'm just typing the same stuff in ChatGPT, so I want to see if it's true or not. Let's just put it this way. Big up, Miss Melina. Big up, Miss Melina. Hope you are doing very, very well today. Hope everyone's treated you well, and go subscribe to Miss Melina as well, people. Arsenal fan, does fire content, amazing personality, amazing streams, amazing watch-alongs, people. Go show some love, people. Go subscribe, go hit the like button and everything. Yeah, it is true. It literally is true, people. It is true. Arsenal, actually, yeah, here it is. Big up Eras. Here is Miss Melina's link. Go show some love, people. Go subscribe. Go hit the likes and everything. Arsenal have made, well, since Mikel Arteta has joined, negative 660 million almost on players. Seriously, nearly $1 billion spent, only 204, like almost nearly 300 or something like that made. They have basically are in negative 660 million. How this club is still alive, I don't know. It's all TV revenue, Champions League money, and merch sales, basically. That's how this club is making a living, I guess. If we do not win anything this season, again, Arteta should walk. Facts, 100%. Arteta should be walking. The question is, though, and let me know your thoughts on this. Would you walk away from 15.6 million? 1 year still guaranteed. Would you walk away? Because if he walks away, he gets no pay from the club. Unless he gets sacked, because then the club has to pay him out. They might do the mutual agreement, which means he's getting sacked and he's going to get the pay, or at least part of it. But if he walks himself, he gets nothing. So if we talk money-wise, like there is no chance in the way he would be walking himself, would he? Like, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't. That's generational wealth as it is. 22 likes, people. If you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe. Yeah, big up, people. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Should have seen gone this season. To some extent, also true. He should have gone before the season as well. Give these 300 million to a different manager. See what he does. 100%. I still stand by this. Arsenal shouldn't sign Madueke. Spend the 30 million to sack Arteta, basically, and then use the 22 million that is left, split it in half, 11 and 11, and go sign a winning manager. Why not? 23-24 season, Arsenal made a total of 660 million for that season without player sales, but the TV revenue, commercial sales, and match deals. Exactly. That is the thing. Arsenal don't make anything pretty much on player sales. We just saw that. This summer we made 10 million. Last summer we made 84 million. Summer before that, 69 million. Summer before that, 24 million. And in the first summer Arteta was here, 19 million. Like, that just shows how bad we are at selling. Most of the players leave for free, or we terminate contract on mutual consent. Let's just put it that way. So at the end of the day, only thing that keeps this club alive, to some extent, right, is the merch, tickets, commercials, other contracts with brands, and TV revenue at the end of the day. Just take an L and sack him. We did the same with Tomiyasu. I think we have a strong enough team to take something with the better manager. Facts. Season just started. Let's be real. And no matter whether you like it or not, it's savable. We haven't started 3 out of 4 competitions: Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Champions League. So why not go there within a new manager? And at this point, 70% of the Premier League managers are better than Arteta. Yeah, true. Trust me, if he gets sacked, he won't get all the money of remaining years of his contract. There will be KPIs. Yeah. He will get part of it. 100% he will get the part of it. 100%. Arteta would cost around 29 million pounds to sack just today. Yeah, and obviously that's going to get taxed and everything. He's going to get about, 12 million? But still decent for him. Failed to meet those KPIs and 1 billion spent, Arteta will get limited severance compensation. Just get him out and bring in someone who gets us over the line. Facts. Just get him out and get a proper manager who can get the goddamn job done at the end of the day. That's all I'm asking for. Is it too much to ask to have a trophy at the end of the season or during the season? Like, it's actually kind of nuts. But yeah, people, if you haven't already, like the stream, subscribe if you're new. But on this note, I'm gonna end today's stream. So big up to you all. It is Friday. I'm gonna go relax. Tomorrow it's Saturday. I'm gonna relax some more. Let's be real. Need to work over how to find a new job. As you all know, I got fired yesterday and everything. Need to figure all that stuff out. But for today, I'm going to be signing off. So take care. Stay safe. Have a nice evening. Enjoy international football that is happening right now. Enjoy the tomorrow's international football. And hopefully, I'm going to see you all tomorrow as well. Peace.